What's up, everybody? It's comedian Tanyalee Davis who want to stew some squash with me, Tanyalee. So I'm married to a redneck from North Carolina, and he likes to stew squash. So I learned how to make it, and I'm actually doing a pretty damn good job of it, if I do say so myself. So here I am cleaning up the squashes. I normally do zucchini and yellow squash, but my store only had some yellow squash today, so I had to clean off the stove top first. It had a bit of grime on it from my cooking before. So what I do is I chop up some onion first. We saute the onion in the saucepan before we add the squash. I only use half an onion, but I chop it up into bits. And of course, you know when you chop an onion, you know what happens. It makes your eyes go bonkers. Oh, normally I can get through chopping an onion, but this time I don't know whether it was just, yep. But anyway, figured out a way of doing it. Keep the eyes from watering. Get all up in there. I don't know if you can notice, but my fingers do not bend. My type of dwarfism called diastrophic dysplasia. Our fingers do not bend, but as you can see, I have figured out my own way of doing things. Got this automatic oil sprayer, which is pretty cool. Kind of alleviates the stickiness in the pan. All right, we get the onions all up in the pan there, and then basically I just I saute these bad boys for a little while. I'll just get them a bit soft before we add the zucchini or the yellow squash, in this case, in the pan. So my husband and I live in a garage conversion. It's a fully functional apartment, but nothing is modified to my height. But I've never lived anywhere where things have been modified. I've just always figured out my own way of doing things. That's right, I'm a Gen Xer. No victim mentality. You don't need to feel sorry for me. I've always been very strong-willed and like to prove people wrong. I know the victim mentality is quite strong this day and age amongst young people and even some older people. I've had some pushback from people in their 30s saying, I have a victim mentality because of this and this and this and this. If you have chosen to make excuses for your victim mentality, well, that's your first problem right there. Life is not easy for anybody, but it's the adversity and the struggles that build character and a foundation. I have had a non-traditional body in my entire life, so I've had to figure out my own way of doing things instead of just be like, oh, woe is me. That's not how I operate. I have figured out my own way, like turning on the knobs of my stove. Obviously the knobs are at the back, so I've got my Unstoppable Me stick, and I figured out a way. Got to add more butter. That's one of the keys for the stewed squash. So add some butter in with the sauteed onions and get that all nice and browning. And then, as you can see, the mobility scooter has been so helpful for me. It allows me to get on top of things and reach with my short arms. But I figure out how to go back and forth carrying stuff to make my life easier. All right, the essential thing is seasoning your stewed squash. I use garlic, onion powder, all-purpose seasoning, black pepper, and then, of course, my favorite seasoning is the Himalayan sea salt, black pepper, and garlic. It's on my Amazon affiliate link, my recommendations. So, yeah, thoroughly season it, then basically just stir it up, put the sauce, the lid back on, and just let it stew down. Yeah, it's really, of course, add another chunk of butter in it after it's stewed up quite a bit, because butter is just another form of love, everybody. Yep, I sit on the armrest of my scooter, and it allows me to balance back and forth. So, like I said, I've always just had to adapt to my environment, and that's what I do. I use the Unstoppable Me stick that I invented to help lower the heat down, and we just let it saute, simmer, whatever, for about an hour or so. I also made myself some chicken and some French fries, so there we are. Like I said, my fingers don't bend, but as you can see, I hold the fork a particular way. That's how I do it. I also can balance the plate on top of my hand. Yep, no victim mentality, because you know what? I am Tanyalee Unstoppable Me, living my best life.